For centuries, the draped toga served as the primary visual marker of Roman rank and authority. It is the defining icon of the Republic, alongside the military triumph and the symbols of the fasces. But these hallmarks of the state actually predate Rome itself. They were originally the tools of an older, neighboring power, the Etruscans. Before Rome controlled the peninsula, the Etruscans were Italy's first true superpower. They dominated the Mediterranean through the trade of vast mineral resources, like iron and copper, building a network of wealthy, independent city-states. Their society operated on principles that later Roman authors found shocking. Etruscan women participated in public life, attended banquets, and held the right to inherit property, an equality depicted here on the lid of a family sarcophagus. Despite their wealth and social advancement, the Etruscans seem to drop off the historical record just as Rome begins its ascent. While the civilization eventually ended, its people remained. They didn't vanish by chance. They were absorbed into the foundation of the state they helped build. The transition began with violence. For 2 centuries, Rome engaged the Etruscans in shifting alliances and brutal sieges against strongholds like Veii, slowly dismantling the independent Etruscan city-states. As Romans seized territory, they took the engineering and military tactics with them, rebuilding their own army and cities using Etruscan concepts. This bronze sheep's liver shows how deeply that influence reached. Romans relied on trained Etruscan priests to navigate state policy, using these technical grids to interpret the will of the gods before every major political decision. In these early years, Rome recycled the civilization it was dismantling, turning the knowledge of its masters into its own imperial tools. Following the social war in the 1st century BCE, the dictator Sulla shifted the Roman strategy. He looked past the physical destruction of cities and targeted their internal social organization. He achieved this through a mechanism called the double community, using cities like Arretium and Faesulae to fracture the local population. Sulla settled thousands of Roman veterans into existing Etruscan centers, forcing 2 groups behind the same walls. Living in legal segregation, the city functioned with 2 parallel governments, 2 sets of magistrates, and 2 sets of laws for a generation. The strategy worked differently across the region. Arretium's trade connections helped the 2 groups merge, but in Faesulae, resistance led to further crackdowns and the eventual erasure of the local identity. The double community system removed the legal basis for an independent Etruscan existence. Within a generation, the internal boundaries of the city had been legislated away. By the 1st century BCE, the Etruscan language had vanished and their literature was lost. Roman and Greek historians began attributing their origins to foreign pirates from Lydia. DNA sequencing from Iron Age tombs provides a new record of what happened to the population. The genetic data shows the ancient historians were wrong. The Etruscans were not migrants from the east, but an indigenous population rooted in Italy. Most importantly, the DNA shows that the Etruscans never left. They merged with the Latins, becoming genetically indistinguishable from their conquerors. This integration changed the Roman identity itself. As the empire absorbed Italy, the blood and blueprint of the Etruscans became the foundation of Rome.